Tens of thousands are expected to vote tomorrow in the presidential election, but normally that's not the case, especially when it comes to voting on issues here in Tulsa County.
Channel 8's investigative reporter Maureen Wirtz found out huge decisions affecting all of us every day are being made by very few people. Maureen.
Mark, we're at Jenks Church right now. You can see that these polling booths are set up over to my right here. The machine is ready to go. Now, this is one of the many polling places all across Tulsa County that will be so busy tomorrow. But just like Neely said, early voting wrapped up over the weekend, and we shattered those records. So we swung by the Tulsa County Election Board earlier today to check up on how things were going. Now, officials were so busy counting those absentee ballots as well as prepping for tomorrow. They told us in 2008 they had 75% of voters turn out. They're hoping to hit that number tomorrow, but this is a presidential election. We're always expecting a lot of voters. But when it comes to all of those other elections that we have throughout the year, 75% voter turnout, that has never been the case.
Happy days are here, yes, they're here again. Happy days are here again. How about that?
Continue, please. Beth Cassidy loves music, but most of all, she loves life. She's curious about all kinds of things and readily describes herself as unique.
How about that? I asked my computer, what gives people diarrhea and makes people run 5 times an hour to a John, you know, and it says milk. Absolutely milk.
Okay, enough of that. We're talking about elections. But on the topic of democracy, Beth is really unique.
Ho, 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 ho. It better be true. Every election that came up that I could vote in, I voted in.
That's right. She always votes, setting her apart from not just most people in Tulsa, but most Oklahomans in general. Why do you think people don't vote?
That's a very good question. I don't know. It seems to me dumb if you have an opportunity why you don't.
Oklahoma has a lot of elections and spends a lot of money making sure voters have a chance to have their say. Trouble is, only a handful of voters typically bother to show up. In 2015, $450,000 taxpayer dollars were spent on 9 different races. So that would equal, can I get 18,000 large pizzas with extra cheese?
18,000.
In 2016, we spent around $800,000 on 6 different races. Actually, would you mind doubling that order?
Double it?
We have to be ready for a big turnout, whether it's a big turnout or not.
Patty Bryant with the election board says legislators set the election schedule. So when only a fifth of registered voters turn up at the polls, there's nothing local election officials can do.
If people care, they care. Otherwise, they're not going to go vote.
More often than not, people aren't voting at all. Last year in Tulsa County, 9,000 people voted to pass $500 million worth of bonds. So what does 9,000 people look like? Well, that nearly fills up the entire Mabee Center. Last year, for just Tulsa County, 27,000 voters okayed issuing $1 billion worth of bonds. That's almost equal to the debt of the entire state of Oklahoma, or one Michael Jordan.
What's wrong with voting? And what are they afraid of when they're being asked to vote? What you call them, what you do.
Cassidy says she already knows who she's voting for.
When men are putting a guy into a position, what they're saying is, you women just couldn't do it. And I want to go, of course we can do it. How dare you say that?
She says she'll have her say, and that's at the voting booth.
How are we doing, kiddos? You like that?
Tulsa County Election Board officials tell me that they're trying to find ways to save money. So some of the things that they will be considering are having a super site, less polling locations, and possibly less election dates. But none of that discussion will start until after the November election. Live in Jenks, Maureen Wirtz, Tulsa's Channel 8.
Maureen, thanks. Tulsa County election officials are expecting a 70% turnout tomorrow, and the election will cost at least $300,000.